hold on to your socks. What about 1,000,000 miles?
Right?
One grandma's car just reached 500,000 miles and she continues to drive it every day.
The automotive world just witnessed something that shouldn't be possible. While Western car owners celebrate reaching 200,000 kilometers, a completely different maintenance philosophy is pushing Japanese vehicles past 1,000,000 kilometers with their original engines still running strong. Here's what the establishment won't tell you. While manufacturers design for planned obsolescence and service centers profit from expensive repairs, Japanese car culture has quietly perfected a maintenance system so thorough that it makes million-kilometer vehicles not just possible, but reproducible. They're not using exotic parts or secret formulas. They're following a disciplined approach that most drivers ignore completely. The numbers are staggering and verified. According to documented cases reported by multiple automotive sources, Graham Hebley's 1993 Toyota Corolla reached 2 million kilometers on its original engine and transmission. Andy Campbell's 1985 Toyota Tercel surpassed 1.25 million kilometers. A 2006 Honda Civic exceeded 1 million miles without replacing its powertrain. These aren't isolated miracles. This pattern reveals something bigger than individual success stories. Japanese vehicles consistently dominate high mileage records worldwide, and the gap between Japanese longevity and competitors keeps widening. The engineering matters, but the maintenance system matters more. Every documented million-kilometer vehicle shares the same underlying approach. According to Japan's Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism, the country enforces the most rigorous vehicle inspection system in the developed world. Called Shaken, this mandatory inspection occurs every 2 years and costs between 100,000 and 200,000 yen. The inspection checks 60 separate components, and failure means your car cannot legally drive on public roads. This isn't optional maintenance, it's enforced reliability. You're about to discover the exact system that produces these results. First, we'll expose the mandatory Shaken inspection process that forces preventative maintenance. Second, we'll reveal the specific service intervals.
Tonight we are sharing the story of a local man who hit a huge milestone with his car
that keep engines running beyond 500,000 kilometers.
Yeah, that's right, Pat. And you know what? It was a 1,000,000 milestone to be exact.
Third, we'll document the cultural mindset that treats cars as long-term investments rather than disposable appliances. Fourth, we'll provide the actionable steps you can implement immediately, regardless of your car's current condition. This goes beyond simple car maintenance. You're witnessing a fundamental difference in automotive philosophy that could save you tens of thousands in replacement vehicle costs. The Japanese approach proves that million-kilometer vehicles aren't about luck or special engineering. They're about systematic, relentless maintenance discipline applied consistently over decades. Let's break down the actual system behind these extraordinary results. The brutal truth most won't tell you is this: there is no single Japanese trick that makes cars last 1,000,000 kilometers. The title promised a trick because that's what gets attention, but the reality is far more valuable. It's a comprehensive maintenance system built on 3 pillars: mandatory inspections, aggressive service intervals, and cultural commitment to vehicle care. Here's how the system actually works. Starting with the foundation that forces Japanese drivers to maintain their vehicles properly. Japan's Shaken inspection system, officially called the Motor Vehicle Inspection and Registration System, mandates that every vehicle over 150 cubic centimeters undergoes rigorous inspection every 2 years. For new cars, the first inspection occurs after 3 years, then every 2 years thereafter. According to official government requirements documented by the National Agency for Vehicle Inspection, this isn't a simple safety check. Inspectors examine exterior components, lighting systems, brake performance, emissions levels, steering alignment, and undercarriage condition across 60 mandatory checkpoints. The financial stakes make compliance unavoidable. Driving without valid Shaken certification is illegal, and vehicles deemed unsafe receive a red sticker declaring them unfit for public roads. The inspection costs between 60,000 and 140,000 yen for legal fees and basic inspection, with additional maintenance potentially adding 20,000 to 100,000 yen. These costs create a powerful incentive. Many Japanese drivers choose to sell vehicles before expensive Shaken renewals, which explains why high-quality used Japanese vehicles flood international markets with meticulous maintenance records. This mandatory system creates the first pillar of million-kilometer longevity. Vehicles cannot avoid maintenance. Problems get identified and fixed before they cascade into major failures. According to automotive maintenance documentation from Car from Japan, this preventative approach contrasts sharply with Western habits of reactive maintenance, where drivers wait for breakdowns before seeking repairs. The second pillar involves aggressive service intervals that prevent wear rather than responding to it. Japanese maintenance schedules follow stricter timelines than most manufacturers recommend for Western markets. According to documented maintenance guidelines, engine oil changes occur every 5,000 to 10,000 kilometers, with first oil change at 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers to remove metal debris from engine break-in. Here's where documented million-kilometer vehicles prove this approach works. Graham Hebley's Corolla, which reached 2 million kilometers, receives service every 2 weeks. He drives approximately 5,000 kilometers weekly for newspaper delivery between Wellington and New Plymouth in New Zealand. His mechanic at Guthrie's Auto Care confirmed the vehicle undergoes careful inspection every 15 days, with routine maintenance including cam bolt replacements approximately 20 times and regular wheel bearing changes. Andy Campbell's Toyota Tercel with 1.25 million kilometers demonstrates similar discipline. Campbell performs almost all maintenance himself.
Just things that I hope I never will have to use again, but if I do, instead of going to Toyota, I come here.
Replacing or repairing nearly every part over the vehicle's lifetime. He maintains 3 additional Tercels on blocks behind his property as part sources, since many components are no longer available from Toyota. According to CBC News coverage, Campbell emphasized that regular oil changes, lubrication, and undercoating represent the keys to extreme longevity. He also fills body crevices with grease to prevent the rust that typically destroys Tercels. The 2006 Honda Civic that exceeded 1 million miles followed identical patterns. According to verified high-mileage vehicle documentation, the owner maintained a strict service schedule throughout the vehicle's life. The only major component failure was the head gasket replacement at 500,000 miles, which remains minor considering the total mileage achieved. These examples share common elements beyond just frequent oil changes. According to maintenance records, they all receive regular fluid checks and replacements for transmission fluid, brake fluid, coolant, and power steering fluid. They undergo tire rotations every 15,000 kilometers. Air filters and cabin filters get replaced every 30,000 kilometers. Fuel filters change every 40,000 kilometers. Spark plugs receive replacement every 30,000 miles. Brake systems get inspected every 10,000 kilometers or 6 months. This leads to the third pillar, cultural commitment to vehicle longevity. Japanese car culture treats vehicles as significant financial investments requiring protection. According to automotive market analysis from Provide Cars, many Japanese owners consider their cars more valuable than 2 years of rent payments, creating strong motivation to preserve vehicle condition. In Japan, cars rarely exceed 100,000 kilometers before owners sell them, not because vehicles fail, but because upcoming shaken costs make selling financially attractive. This cultural approach creates a secondary market benefit. Used Japanese vehicles exported globally arrive with comprehensive maintenance histories, clean records, and components in excellent condition despite their age. According to documentation from every Komitsu Lenadias and other major Japanese used car exporters, this maintenance culture means vehicles with 100,000 kilometers from Japan often have better mechanical condition than Western vehicles with 50,000 kilometers. The reality check comes with understanding what these million-kilometer achievements actually require. Graham Hebley drives 5,000 kilometers weekly in his delivery business. That's 260,000 kilometers annually. Reaching 2 million kilometers took him approximately 8 years of extreme use with fanatical maintenance every 2 weeks. This isn't typical commuter driving, it's commercial-grade usage with professional-grade maintenance. Andy Campbell similarly dedicates significant time and resources to his Tercel's upkeep. He maintains a complete parts inventory, performs most work himself, and treats vehicle preservation as a serious hobby. The financial investment in maintenance over decades likely approaches or exceeds the cost of multiple replacement vehicles. Here's what this means for you. You won't reach 1 million kilometers following your manufacturer's recommended maintenance schedule alone. You'll need to adopt Japanese-level discipline, more frequent oil changes than specified, regular fluid inspections, immediate attention to minor issues before they escalate, and treating your vehicle as a long-term asset worth protecting. The Japanese maintenance system proves that million-kilometer longevity is achievable, but only through relentless discipline applied consistently over decades. This system works because it prevents problems rather than reacting to failures, maintains all components simultaneously rather than focusing only on the engine, and treats vehicles as investments requiring protection rather than disposable appliances. If you want to push your vehicle toward extreme longevity, start by implementing these verified practices. Change your oil every 5,000 to 7,000 kilometers regardless of manufacturer recommendations for longer intervals. Inspect all fluid levels monthly and maintain them at optimal levels. Address minor issues immediately before they cause secondary damage. Keep detailed maintenance records documenting every service and repair. Choose quality parts over cheap alternatives. Consider your driving conditions and adjust maintenance frequency accordingly. Set realistic expectations. You probably won't reach 1 million kilometers unless you drive commercially and maintain professionally. But you can easily double or triple your vehicle's typical lifespan by adopting even half of these practices. Getting 300,000 to 400,000 kilometers from a well-maintained Japanese vehicle is completely achievable with consistent care. Have you experienced exceptional longevity from a well-maintained vehicle? What maintenance practices have proven most valuable in your experience? Drop your stories in the comments. Your real-world experience helps other viewers make better decisions about vehicle care and maintenance investments. The facts over fantasy approach continues here. Subscribe for honest automotive content that respects your intelligence and your wallet with no marketing nonsense or unverifiable claims. Just documented information you can verify and implement immediately.